Yo, what is up everyone? So today I decided to make this super simple modal with React and I'm going to share with you how I did it. So let's go check out. I made modal, super modal right here, click it. And boom, we have a little animation. So I'm going to use some little React Spring action here. And it's just like a filler. Obviously you'd have to fill this out yourself, but ideally you can click outside. It closes. Also, you can click the X, it closes, and I decided to get a little fancy, and if I press on my keyboard the escape key, you can't see it, but I press it, and it closes as well. And then pretty much, I can click here, and you can't really hear, let me see if I use my mouse. You can't really, I don't know if you can hear that, but basically I'm clicking everywhere, nothing happens, and then voila, and we're back to normal. So it is super basic, super simple. So without further ado, let's hop into my code editor and let me show you how I made this. All right, so here I am on my terminal. So go ahead, open up your terminal and let's go ahead and let me type in npx and then create React app, and then let's just do React Modal and let's put YT. This is just for YouTube so I know, and then go ahead and press enter. So once this creates the React app and it finishes loading, I will see you once it is completed. All right, so it just got done. So I'm gonna go ahead and CD into React-Modal-YT or whatever you named your project. And I'm gonna go ahead and do code dot because I have VS Code and this auto opens it. If you don't have it set up, quick Google search to set it up. It's not too difficult. And then let's go here. And I'm gonna do, you can do control backtick, opens up the terminal. And if I run yarn start right now, it's gonna give me that error most likely. So let's see. If you don't have yarn, just do npm. But I just gotta copy this really quick. Right click new file and do .env. And then simply let me just paste that in, save it, and then let me just go ahead and do yarn start again. I just press the up arrow, brings it back. If you don't have yarn, obviously you do npm. And I think I have it up already on the background, so let me just press Y. And let's see what happens once this loads. Computer is being slow because of filming, but there we go. So let me bring this over. Let's shrink this to this side. And now let's go ahead and let's see. Let's delete the app.css. Not gonna need this. I'm gonna use stock components for most of this. Index.css, don't need that. Logo, we can get rid of this. And then we don't have to worry about the rest of the other stuff. But let's see, go in index.js, let's get rid of the index.css. Save it here. Go to app, let's get rid of these two right here. And then let's get rid of majority, actually just get rid of everything. And let's just put little fragments and let's just say, boom, and then we save, and perfect. All right, so everything's good. You've made a React app before, you already know the drill. And let's go ahead and I'm gonna have stock components. So let's go ahead and I'm just click this plus sign here. Let me just do yarn add style components. If you don't have yarn, obviously npm install those. And then once that finishes, we can check the package.json and let's see if it actually shows up. Boom, okay, we got it right here. Now another thing we're gonna need is React Spring. So let's install that now before I forget. And there's like a specific version you have to install, because if you just do regular React Spring and you try to do what I did, you can have this error that's gonna make it go crazy. So let's go ahead and actually let's do yarn add react-spring, and then I'm gonna do at next because I want to have one of the newer versions, because there's a certain error that pops up. So let me just hit enter, and then once that finishes up, it should pop up, and it should be like 9.00 dash like RC3, yeah, right there. Awesome. Okay, cool, we got this, and we have React icons too. So let's just do that one more time. Let's do yarn add react-icons. And this one's pretty simple. And that should be it for now. So then once this finishes, we can just go back to my regular terminal here. And we're pretty much set. So now let's go. Let's create a, in the app, let's do some some style component actions. So first, let's do a. I'm just gonna do these inside the app. Ideally, you could make these like a custom, like like component folder or like assets folder. But for now, let's just do this inside of the app. Let's do const container equal to style.div. So if you know style components, then you know the drill. But if not, I'm just basically styling this right now. So flex, just my content center. Let's do align items center, and then let me just put a height of 100 VH, and then let's just do a button, and then that will be good for this page. So let's do const button equals style dot button backtick, and let's zoom in with 100 pixels just in case screen gets too small. Let's do padding of 16 pixels by 32 pixels. Border radius, let's do 4 pixels. Border none, and then let's do the background. Will just be hashtag 141414. Color text will be white. Font size 24 pixels, and then cursor pointer. All right, so now let's just put these up right now. So let's just do, let me erase all this stuff here. And let's just say container. And then inside the container will be the button. So here on a modal, super modal right here. And let's see, styles not defined. So we gotta go up here and do import styled from style components. And boom, okay, so we got the button, perfect. So now all we need to do is pretty much create the modal and then do all the state and we're done. So let's go here, new folder. I'm just gonna create components folder just for, just so you can see it easier. Let's just do a new file. Let's call this one modal.js. And let's see, I want to do, yeah, if you have this extension here, ES7, type it in, get this one right here. That one would make it life easier. And then I can just go ahead and do like imr and then import React. And also let's do import styled from styled components. And then let's see, we're gonna have the React icon eventually, so I mean we'll do that in a second. But then at the bottom under here, let's do export. So let's see, export const modal, and then just set that equal to empty arrow function for now, because we'll add our problem state in a second. But let's see, so first I want to just return, and let's just return something basic. So let's see here, let's just put some fragments for now, and let's just say, actually let's do a div. Whoa, why is it caps? Modal. Okay. So right now, nothing working. So what I'm gonna do is actually, let's go to app.js, because I want to actually see if this is working first. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have to add state. So let's go up to the React. I'm gonna use the useState hook. So we just import it with the curly brace, and then let me set these values on here. So I'm gonna say const, and then you put in the brackets, and the first one's going to be the value for your state, and then the function after, which will be set show modal. That's going to update the state, and it's going to be use state of false. And then pretty much what we're going to do is create a open modal function. So whenever I click on the button, it pops up. So let's just do const, let's do open modal. You name it whatever you want to. I'm going to sit there and do an arrow function. And pretty much what I'm gonna do is just set the show modal value, and I'm gonna set it from the previous, then the arrow function, and then the opposite of the previous value. Basically, it's just toggling it back and forth. And then on the button, we can do an on click, and then this is how we're gonna target the open modal function. So now pretty much here, we save this. Right now, let's actually, let's see, let's import this modal too. So let's do modal. And then if you press enter, it auto imports it at the top. So boom, if not, go ahead and like write that in. import modal from .components, and I'm gonna pass in the show modal property here, and then I'm just gonna pass in show modal, and then also let's have show modal here because we're gonna need this when we go back to the actual modal.js file and save it. And now you can see right now it's currently showing the actual modal on here. So now let's see if I can I want to pretty much only show this on the actual clicks. Let's see. So if we go back here to the modal, we can say like this. If we do curly brace, we can say like show modal. If that's true, return this div. Else, let's do null. And hold on, let me do it like this. And let me see, make sure. Yeah, right now I think it's just gonna return into like a single line. For now, it doesn't really matter. We have to actually pass this in to the value. So I'm gonna say show modal and then set show modal. So now if I click this button, it should just pop the modal, and boom, now you can see super basic functionality, but we have to do a bunch of styling and additional things. So at least right now we can see that it works. So now what I want to do is let's create a global styles really quick. I just want to make sure when I do this that it's like all clean. So let's just do new file. Oh no, not new folder. src new file, and let's do global styles.js. I mean, I could have just done like an app to CSS, but we're here already. So let's just do import create global style from style components, export const global style equals to create global style backtick, and then let's do a little asterisk, and let me just pass everything in here. So let's do box sizing border box, let's do margin 0, padding 0, font family just Arial for now, and then sans serif. So then we have to go back to the app.js and just pass that in. So let's do global style. I pressed enter, so it should have auto imported. If not, make sure you import global style from global styles, and then just self-closing tag here. And you can't really tell right now, but fonts changed, and then like once we create the modal design, it'll look way better. But yeah, we're pretty much good there. And now let me just go ahead and start styling this stuff. So first off, let's go ahead and let's create a background. So let's do const background equal to style.div backtick. And I'm gonna have the GitHub up, but I mean, to save us some time, because I don't want to sit here and bore you with like CSS. And plus, if you have a different design modal, then this stuff doesn't matter to you. So I'm just gonna copy and paste all my styles. But ideally, you can see these if you want to copy along. And then let me do let's see, const modal wrapper equal to style.sty backtick. Whoa, what is going on? And let me just paste my styles in here. Again, I'm just saving time, but this is essentially the actual modal now. So it has like the width, height, background, columns, etc. And then I have an image. So let me do this one now. Let's do const. Actually, let me close this first, this terminal, so you can see better. Oh, yeah, hold on, what the heck? Okay, there we go. Let's do const modal img equal to style.img backtick. And let me just pass this in here. And then let's see. Let me just straight up copy and paste this stuff because it's pretty basic, nothing fancy. And then this is the rest. So just modal content, and then I just kept it pretty basic. So I just had regular like p tags and button tags. So like I didn't make everything a style component, but ideally you'll see once I start running it out. And then also last one is the close the icon. So this is just the X. So if I go to the original one, zooming out, it's literally just that X right there. So pretty much, let me let's see. Let me import this React icon. This is what I'm using right here for the icon. So I actually import that before to make it work. So I have to do is just do like import md close from React-icon/empty. And now let's actually add this into our modal now. So let's see. What I want to do is if show modal is true, so let's put this on another line, and then I should have these as parentheses. So let's copy all this inside of these parentheses. Not sure why I didn't do it. So now your code should look like this. Now pretty much I'm going to say if show modal is true, let's erase all of this. So ternary operator, curly brace or modal, question mark. If that's true, I'm gonna do parentheses, and then now I'm gonna write my code. So let's do background. And then on background, we'll add a bunch of stuff to this, but let's fill it out for now. So we have the background. Again, this would be your actual style yourself. And then let's do modal wrapper. And then I'll pass in show modal equal to show modal. And then press enter here, and then let's do modal image. And this is actually, I'll let me drag the image in. src equals to require, since React doesn't like, if I don't put this, and then it's going to be modal.jpg, and then the alt will just simply be just camera, and then it's a self-closing tag right here. So I'm gonna actually drag this in. Again, if you're not copying my design, then obviously you'd have your own image or whatever else you do it. But let me just drag this in really quick. So I got this just off the random picture website. So it's just modal image or modal.jpg is what I named it. Again, you'd have to, you can either download this from my GitHub or you can just straight up just watch this part. But then under here, let's just do modal content. Press enter and then H1. Are you ready? So I didn't go all the way in and put them all there. I just put these like normal HTML tags. And then P tag, let's do what? Get exclusive access to our next launch. And then let me do Command B, you can see it better. And then just simple button. Online network. Button, let's just say join now. So it's just like filler design for now. But then here's where the we have the close button, so let's do close modal button. And then I'm gonna have aria dash label equal to close modal. And then pretty much on click, I want to set the value. So on click parentheses arrow function to set show modal, parentheses previous value arrow, then exclamation mark prev. So basically just switching the previous value and then just closing tag. And pretty much good here. Let's save this and let's see what happened. Let's see, what line is this? 81. So it looks like, oh yeah. So after this parenthesis, we gotta do colon no, save it. Should work now, yeah. So now you can see it's, so far it's pretty much working. Legitimate, that was it. Like that's it. This is obviously you're filling your design. But the thing is, the one thing isn't working is like clicking on the actual like background. Then also if I press the escape key, that's not working either. It's just this. So if you just needed this, I mean, it's pretty basic. But ideally, most modals I've seen, you have it click on the background. So it's actually, and I didn't make this mobile responsive, but it's just desktop for now, for example purposes. But pretty much what you need to do is let's go here, and I use ref. Again, this is not necessary, but I just wanted to use it for this example. So I go to the top. Let's do use ref. Also, we're gonna need use effect, and we're gonna have to use callback. And then also for React Spring, we're gonna need to do this is how you do it. If you never use React Spring, it's not too hard, but we'll just do use Spring and then animated from React Spring. And that should be everything for the imports. Now we just write the functions and then we're pretty much set. All right, so let's go here. All right, so now let's do, I'm gonna say const modal ref. I'm just naming it that, equal to use ref. And then let's just actually, let me show the React Spring animation first. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say const animation. So I'm calling it for now. So equal to use spring. And then you say parentheses curly brace. Then I'm gonna press enter. And then inside this, I'm gonna say config curly brace. And I want the duration just to be 250 milliseconds. So you just do it like that. And you put a comma here. And then I'm gonna set the opacity, and then pretty much I'm gonna say show modal. If that's true, result it to 1, else 0. And then let's do transform, and let's do show modal again. And if that is true, let's do backticks, translate, y, parentheses 0%, then colon, backticks, translate, y, parentheses minus 100%. And then pretty much good there. Now all we need to do to get this to work, this animation, is you go and wrap it around where you want to animate. So I only want the modal, not the background. So I'm gonna go right here by background, press enter, do animated.div, and then I'm gonna say style equals to curly brace animation, and then I close it out. Then I'm gonna take this closing tag, command X, go under modal wrapper, press enter, and save. So now once we added that quick little lines of code, we can just go here and then click it, and boom. Now you can see that it has a little animation effect. So right now nothing still works except the X, but you can see we have that. Now that's unnecessary, you don't need it, but you want to get a little fancy, go ahead. And now let's add the close modal. So I'm using use ref. So here I named it modal ref. So I'm gonna add, let's add this to the background. So I'm gonna say ref equals to modal ref. And then what I need to do now, so let me go under animation, and I'm just create a function. So let's say const close modal equals to e, and then I'm basically gonna say if the modal ref dot current, essentially saying like whatever I'm clicking on is equal to e dot target. Then I want to set show modal to false. And then all I need to do is pass in that to here. So on click equals to close modal. So now, oh yeah, it should work now, okay. So I click here, I'm a modal. Boom, okay. And then the X, bam. So now I want to do one last thing is the escape key. Now you don't have to do this, but I just want to show you anyways. I already have it, so pretty much, here's a little cool trick. What we can do is say const, I'm gonna just call this key press. Then I'm gonna say equal to use callback. And then in the callback, we're gonna pass in, and let's do E, arrow, curly brace here. And then pretty much, we're gonna say, and also let's pass in the array. I'm gonna say set show modal, comma, show modal. But let's go back inside of it. Now pretty much I'm gonna say if e.key is equal to escape. And I got this off of Stack Overflow, like the way to write this, but it's pretty common. And then, so essentially that's saying if the key you press on your keyboard is the escape key, and show modal is true, meaning like it's actually showing, it's open, then I want to set show modal to false. And then we need to actually call this function. So I'm gonna say use effects, and then pretty much just so it doesn't render like a million times, because if you console.log this right here, like just some random message, is gonna render like a million times, it's gonna be annoying. So I'm gonna say use effects, let's do arrow function with a curly brace. We're gonna say document.add event listener of key down. And then we're gonna call the key press function here. And then under this line, we're going to return it so that it actually removes it. So I'm gonna do arrow function, document.remove event listener. And then basically we're just gonna say key down again with the key press here. And then I'll just pass in key press dependency here. So let's just say key press. And let's save this and let me test it out. Perfect. All right, so let me just go back. Let's check the console just to make sure there's no errors. So right now I click, modal shows up, X is fine, click, background is fine, escape key, perfect, awesome. So this is just a simple way I did it. Feel free to refine the code. Let me know cleaner ways to do this or even easier ways. to create a modal in React, and any other things if you need you notice that I can improve or fix, definitely comment down below. But aside from that, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.